What's up, everybody? It's Bear with BearIndependent.com, and today we're going to talk about whether or not ATN makes garbage equipment. ATN, American Technology Corp, I believe, is their handle. Full disclosure, I paid for this. This is the X-Sight 5-220X 4K Pro ? And I paid for this. This is a PVS-14, and it is the green, not the white phosphorus. I paid for it, but I didn't pay full price. They have a influencer program kind of thing. I got a deal. It wasn't a hell of a deal, but I got a deal. But all that to say, ATN does not pay me to talk nice about them. And that's good, because they would be sorely disappointed in one half of this conversation. This thing here, I could go through all the features. It does this and that, and it has this, and it does blah, 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 blah. This is, again, the X-Sight 4K Pro. I would tell you all the features, but it'd be a waste of your damn time. And the reason I would tell you that is because it's been a waste of my damn time. This thing is a piece of garbage. Now, what do I mean? I got this thing new in the box, and I fired it up, and it worked, kinda, until it didn't, until it locked up. And this is a digital night vision scope, okay? Digital night vision scope. New out of the box, before it was painted, before it was fielded, before any of that, it locked up. And what do I mean by locked up? I mean, the screen was frozen, unresponsive, the buttons didn't work, and me, because I'm so passionate and patient and understanding, I was in a great mood about this. So I did a hard reset. Then I started doing some research. And at the time of my research, ATN has a video about how to update the firmware on your scope that in 1 year had 106,000 views. What does that tell you about how many people have had this issue? The answer is it's probably more than just me, because their video to rectify the situation had 106,000 views in a year. That's a problem. Now, did everybody who watched that video have an issue? No, I'm sure lots of people were researching ATN, found that video and watched it so that they wouldn't make the mistake of buying a scope that has subpar firmware. Something that I regret that I did not do before I purchased this scope. So then I was like, all right, got it. I'll update the firmware. You need a micro SD card. Don't have one of those. Buy one of those. You need a micro SD card reader. Don't have one of those. Buy one of those. Hook it up to the laptop. Okay, go to the ATN website. Download the appropriate firmware. It's easy. Just choose from the selection tabs, the drop-down menu that doesn't have this scope listed anywhere. Spend an hour trying to find the appropriate firmware that's already on there versus the one that's supposed to go on there. Go to the ATN forums, talk to all the other ATN people, find out what you need. Then download it. Then finally get it onto the micro SD card and stick it in the scope, and what happens? It's still locked up. All of this, by the way, after I went to the range and shot almost 100 rounds trying to get it to zero. It's supposed to have a one-shot zero. It does not. And I don't know if you've priced ammunition lately, but 100 rounds to get a gun sighted in is stupid. And I'm not talking at a bazillion meters, I'm talking 100. So, hard right now, ATN. And if you're watching this, your customer service sucks. I'm tired of emailing you. You should make it right. You can get a hold of me at admin@bearindependent.com. This thing is a piece of trash, and is very likely going to end up in a box back to you. And I had all these issues before I put a nice coat of Krylon on it, so I don't want to hear anybody complaining about that. The X-Sight 4K Pro. It's professionally garbage. And I'm really disappointed because I really wanted it to be awesome, and it's really not awesome. It's really been a pain in my ass. This is their PVS-14. Now let me put the day cap on it. Helmet, brain buckets by Billy. If you want an American assembled, made in the USA right there. Brainbucketsbybilly.com. Great guy, a member of the Bear Nation. And these are ballistic shells, not bump helmets. Anyway, this thing, so far, it has 0 hard use on it, okay? Being perfectly honest with you, thus far, this thing has 0 hard use on it. However, the clarity is awesome. The battery life is good. And I mean, clarity, really good. Really, really, really good. It has a built-in illuminator on it, and that helps. No wonder. Bright light sensor removed for use. I probably should have taken it off. Like I said, I haven't given this any hard use yet, but I have played with it at night. We've had some nighttime operations that we've been involved in around here on the homestead, and I've been pleasantly surprised by this. This is $3,000. I would hope that I'd be pleasantly surprised by it. Versus this thing right here. At the time, this was retailing for $1,000. I think they're $7.99 right now because they're trying to push them out the door because it's a piece of garbage and their firmware sucks. Still, $800 is $800. That's a month's worth of groceries for a family. Well, I don't know, I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's going on in the news. That's 10 days worth of groceries for what, a family of 5 these days. Anyway, the PVS-14, there will be more video on this guy right here. I'm liking it very much. I'm a big fan of it. This is worth it. So ATN, I don't know what's going on with your company, but one of your products is really good. I recommend for sure. Your other product, this thing right here, I cannot be more adamant when I say, don't buy this freaking thing. Don't buy it. I'm pissed about it. And I've spent, let me not exaggerate, an entire day thus far, 8 to 10 hours thus far, of mounting this thing, trying to sight it in, having it freeze up, reset the firmware again. Oh, it's completely locked up now. The buttons don't work, the knobs don't work. It won't talk to a computer. It won't talk to my cell phone. It won't recognize the micro SD card that's in there. This thing might be useful as a blunt force weapon. Other than that, it's a boat anchor, and it's an $800 to $1,000 boat anchor, and that is absolute nonsense. It doesn't work. For what I paid for this, plus the ammunition, I could have gone to our store, refugemedical.com, and bought one of our stomp bags. If you bought a stomp bag for me and you got it in the mail and half the stuff inside of it was missing, and then you emailed me, and then you emailed me again, and then you emailed me a third time, and then you went to the website and click on the stomp bag, and it's like, oh, you have stomp bag issues? Click here. And then you wasted half a day there, and you pulled the stomp bag open, there's nothing there, or half the stuff's missing, it doesn't work, and my company was completely unresponsive to you. Would you be happy? And just another word here. Apparently, ATN has enough of a loyal following that there are forums, entire forums dedicated to how to get their stuff to work. And some could say, that's great that people like their stuff that much. I don't think people like their stuff that much. I think people are that frustrated with the level of customer service that they provide that the free market has had to figure out a way to rectify the issues with the products that they spent good, hard fiat currency for to get their hands on. In other words, earmuffs, kids, this situation is bullshit. If you bought a product from me and it didn't work, we'd make it right or refund your money. Not these guys. At least not yet. So, if I'm that social media influencer, make it right. And if you are just a normal human being out there, which you are because you're a member of the Bear Nation, don't waste $800 to $1,000 on that scope. And I would say any of their other scopes, because they all use the same technology, and I am 0% impressed with that technology. However, this right here, thus far, good to go, and you will see more videos on it. Appreciate y'all, Bear Nation. If you're new here, if you just clicked on to watch me talk trash about ATN, hey, consider clicking the subscribe button, ring that little bell notification. That way the YouTube algorithmic overlords will pretend to inform you when we go live, drop new videos, so forth and so on. And there's always the best words, tremendous shout out to our patrons for supporting the channel. You can find us at patreon.com. Just search for Bear Independent. Barrier to entry is an entire $1 per month. If you don't like it, you're out of buck, bro. But I imagine you're gonna like it. Bless y'all. Shalom.